when we started our journey, you were already coaching and you were already working with leaders. What made you say, now I want to take this time and invest in my time and myself to be a coach? Why then?
I took the decision, I want to get more visible. I had the belief, the feeling that it was quite important to me for my activity, for myself, for the impact I wanted to have. So I started to search for opportunities. And before I met you, I already did a couple of workshops online and live. But what I realized is that you need to learn how to do that efficiently, because I was offering my time to people. So I did workshops, but I had the feeling that I didn't have the impact I wanted to have. I didn't know why, but I felt that I was not that impactful. I loved doing workshops, so it was a good point to me. I want to do that again. I want to do more of them, but I want to learn how to do them in an efficient way for myself and for the audience. I met you and I said, I need to work with you, definitely, to boost my visibility and to do it in a more efficient and more impactful way.
Beautiful. So you knew that there were two parts for you. One is becoming more impactful in your delivery, knowing that I will be able to create a deeper transformation. And secondly is to create a larger impact. Knowing that, coming to me and starting this journey, what happened next?
I think I had the biggest moment when we started to work together. I understood that connection was quite important, connecting with your audience. Before meeting you, when I did workshops or conferences, I was sharing information. I was delivering information. I was a little bit like a teacher. But I understood that's not the way to be impactful. And we started with the breakthrough story, opening up to your audience, speaking about your feelings, about your life, about your experiences to create the connection. And then you can share information. And that completely changed the way I did workshops. I spoke in public. It was really powerful because as soon as I started to do it like that, I received very positive feedback from other women who was coming to me at the end saying, wow, okay, I did the same thing a few years ago. I recognized myself in your story. Yes, my impact was bigger, my fulfillment was bigger, and the audience, I saw in their eye that it was completely different.
And how did it make you feel, those moments when you saw the deep impact that your workshops were creating for them?
It's huge. I can remember in November 2023, so I spoke forum, live forum here in Brussels, organized by magazine. And that was the first time I did my workshop. And when I saw tears in the eyes of some women in front of me, it was very powerful, to be honest, completely different. And I said, yeah, I want more of that. I want that connection again.
I think it was in the first month you had already pre-booked one workshop, but what followed was two workshops, two articles in Elle magazine, and invited to Google, being on the radio, and literally going on a speaking tour. At some point, you didn't have time to have calls with me because you were speaking in Paris, speaking on Google, speaking on radio, being in articles. I'm curious to hear what made that boost of opportunities come your way, in your opinion?
I think that point about connection was quite important and really a game changer. To take the example of Google, it's because a woman was at the, so when I did this workshop, she was in the audience and she was, wow, it's so impactful. I want you to come to my office. I want you to come at Google to do that speech, to speak about the subconscious mind. I think when I changed the way I did workshops, new doors opened, and it's like a snowball. So when you increase your impact, you increase the number of opportunities you receive. and then again and again. And it was like when you speak at the radio, then someone will find you impactful. So I would say the first step is starting.
In one sense, it is snowball, but also, like you said, when you're good at something, mastering the art of becoming really good at delivering your workshop, becoming really good and preparing for podcasts, preparing for radio interviews, getting media trained makes a difference, because if you don't have a good product, in this case, a good workshop, a good delivery, when you go on the radio and you are interviewed in articles, if you don't know how to do that, if you are winging it, then the product itself is not really good. When you have quality and you've been trained to do that and you have worked on that, then you also can get the confidence to be able to go for something bigger. And I would love to ask you, when it comes to partnership or something working with others in the ecosystem, is there a shift in you in how you approach collaboration and creating those opportunities?
You brought me an efficient structure. So I know now that someone can ask me to organize a workshop in 2 days, for instance, I can do it. I have my steps, I have my structure, very efficient, and I didn't have it before working with you. So I went, structuring something by myself. It brings a lot of confidence to have it, to understand how it works, how you can be efficient, impactful. And when we started working together, even though I liked speaking in public, I was not that confident. For me, it brought a lot of confidence. It brought me new partners. I was visible in the press. My credibility has significantly increased over the past few months. So I was not hiding anymore.
Beautiful. And leading to that, one thing that you shared with me that was really interesting is that you said, when you got that credibility, when you get that confidence and you get that initial first success with being invited to speak on Google, speaking in Elle magazine and articles, radio, all these amazing opportunities in Paris, Brussels as well. And said, Daria, now I want to become the Marisa Peers of Belgium. I want to be that big of an impact in this world. And this is something that came after the first steps of having that validation. How did you realize that this is what you want, that you want to be not Marisa Peers, but the odd, being known and recognized and being able to create this type of impact with your hypnotherapy?
And now the vision is existing longer Belgium and the French-speaking countries. I think speaking in public really broadened my vision. Before that, I was working one-on-one with my clients, doing my job, receiving good feedbacks. But when I started to speak more in public, it opened new doors. It broadened my vision. I don't want to be just a good therapist or a good subconscious expert. I want to be more. I want to build an empire. I would say the word is not that nice, but addiction, when you start sharing your message, sharing your impact, speaking in public, I realized I loved it. So I wanted, like Marisa Peer, to build something strong, international, and be able to speak like she does on Mind Valley all over the world, speaking about subconscious mind. I want to do the same. I think it's a question of authorization. And when I start to work with you, it's like I started to give myself authorization to dream big, to play big.
I love it that you gave yourself the permission to go for your big dreams and to actually dream big and say, why not? I can do this in this lifetime. I can play and I can be limitless and I can go for the biggest impact. And I usually say that the business of speaking is important. So the structure and having a simple structure and getting media trained, getting to learn how to build partnership, how to build your positioning. And yet it's only one part of it, because without the spiritual journey of self-leadership and the identity upgrade that you go for and the purification of becoming the Marisa Peers of Belgium and France. Many people say, I want to be visible. I want to be on TEDx. I want to be in front of an audience. I want to make more money. And On the conscious level, yes, but on the subconscious level, there's so many layers. The permission to stand out, the permission to be happy, the permission to be different. There's so many things that have to be worked through. If we are going to play in that way, we also need to have your whole human and your higher conscious on board saying, okay, we are all in. There's no self-sabotage. There's nothing blocking in your system, in your actual nervous system for that type of impact. Can you speak into that a bit?
I think the inner work is really part of it, and definitely probably the most important one at the beginning, because you can have the structure, you can have the skill, but if you don't dare showing yourself, being vulnerable, being authentic, you don't create the connection. So you can have the structure, but you don't have the impact. What you really helped me to do is to lay off all these fears, these doubts, and to really allow me to take my leadership. At the beginning, I was the nice little girl doing a job quite well, a nice girl, and now I can really see the difference, daring to share in public about my experience, about my vulnerability, my life. And it is really what allowed me to take my leadership. And it's still an ongoing process, but I really saw the difference thanks of the work we did together at an inner level, for sure.
So yeah, the identity upgrade with the purification of looking at what parts in me are still not on board, are still scared, and how can we get them on board and give them that love and attention so you feel safe to be visible. Because if you feel safe to be yourself, then you are more authentic and you are more vulnerable. And that what makes you unique. The combination of the tools and your personality being visible is what makes you completely unique, and being able to go for being the Marisa Pierce of Belgium and of France, your own version of that. What do you think makes this work unique in the way that we did together?
I came to you public speaking because I saw and I realized that you had this huge experience in visibility speaking in public. So that was my goal, and I came to you for that. But I discovered that you're much more than that. I remember we had some sessions focused on taking actions, strategies, marketing. So you're an expert in that. And on the other hand, in some sessions, you were shifting into a more energetic path, helping me to do this inner work. And the combination of both, I would say, is powerful. And it's really what allowed me to do this jump in my activity, in my visibility, and in my identity as well. And something which is also quite impressive to me, that you feel before myself, so what is good to me. So you are really connected to me, and that's super, super powerful. So in each session, you really feel what was the best to me to help me continue in my journey, but be it more energetic, being more strategic.
I think that's one of the roles of a good mentor, of a good coach, to see the vision before your clients can see that.
I remember a day when I was not feeling that well, but I was hiding it because I wanted to be the good coachee. And we started the Zoom. I didn't mention anything. I was trying to appear to be quite normal, but I was inside quite emotional. And you already felt it. And you said what I needed to hear at that moment. For me, it was, wow, it's like you are inside me and you know better than me what I needed at that time. It's really precious to me. And you said, okay, maybe take time, rest a little bit, and we'll do the session a little bit later. And wow, she's so connected to me. And when we started to work together, I still had limiting beliefs about myself. I probably still have. And I was not dreaming big, as you said, but you brought me the vision. You saw me in my higher self. You shared with me in several sessions what you saw. And it's really resonated inside. I know that's you saw me, so I can start seeing myself as well in that position, in that identity. So it's really you have to see your clients in the best version of themselves.
Happy to hear that. And the importance for me in those moments is that it's never me telling you what to do, but it's more about part of also the mentorship role for me, in my opinion, is to show versions of yourself. There are different versions. I see this for you, and I see those versions, and there are multiple universes that can be parallel. There's almost a playfulness of you can be anything you want, and let's play. Does this fit? Oh, this fit. I like it. It's fun. Or, oh, I don't like this at all. Oh, it doesn't taste good. But it gives you this playfulness to enjoy the journey of exploring your identity. And it's more than business, because in the end, it's not only about business. It's about feeling whole in your life, in your business, but also in your time with your partner, with your family, with yourself. It's about making sure that what you're building is actually what makes you happy. Celebrate the beautiful journey you've been on so far, and also knowing that there's so much more that is magical and just coming your way right now, because you set up the good foundation for that on an energetic level, on leadership level, but also in the business structure. So I'm celebrating you, and I'm excited for you